Welcome to Advertisers Watching Ads, the weekly show where we invite brands to review other brands' ads.
With safe sex, it's very like, you're a bit like, okay, I'll use a condom. Whereas this is like, have fun, but use your condom at the same time.
I believe this would absolutely translate to the vast majority. And I think we would actually appreciate it overall. I think it would be much more of a success than a criticism here.
This week, we have two brilliant guests with us, and I'll hand it over to introduce yourselves.
I'm Adina Smith. I live in New York, and I was last at Kroll, but I've been at top agencies and Fortune 100 companies in brand and marketing.
Hi, I'm Amy. I'm a campaign manager for Sky in Dublin, Ireland.
This week's ad, chosen by Contagious, is Relate and the Hornicultural Society. So we're going to watch that right now.
A recent survey revealed that nearly half, 44% of over 65-year-olds claim that their favourite pastime is having sex.
Among over 65s, sexually transmitted infections are rising.
We don't need them.
Why not?
Because I'm not going to get pregnant at 65.
Relate have created a series of vegetable-themed condom packet designs under the banner of the Hornicultural Society.
You did say hornicultural, didn't you?
I said hornicultural.
Hornicultural.
It's got aubergine, avocado,
Of course you have.
courgette. Oh, I put the aubergine at the front.
The condom. Firm and ripe. I might be ripe, but I'm not firm.
Aubergine, large-rooted, rich in vitamin D when enjoyed regularly, either indoors or outdoors.
They can now be offered a nice little packet of a protective in a gardening theme.
TV sex therapist Peter Sadding.
I love it. Hornicultural.
As soon as I leave here today, I'm going to a garden centre.
So we're going to ask you to vote out of 5 for this week's spot. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, 4.5. Okay. First question I had was this a topic that you were both aware of before you saw the spot?
I was not aware that, first of all, over 65, number one hobby was sex, but bravo. And that you could still get gonorrhea. It never occurred to me. And my mom is in assisted living, and my father died when she was 80. And when she was 84, she found a boyfriend. And we were speaking about topics related to having a new boyfriend. And it never occurred to me to use protection at her age. And if I'm not thinking about it, my mom wasn't thinking about it, and either was her then beau.
It's a topic that nobody would really address, and it's kind of a taboo that you don't really think the older over 65s are having really sex. So first off, that caught your attention and gets people talking as well, because it's something that you'd kind of pinpoint that to like college students or under 30s to be more careful and safe. And yeah, I just thought it was brilliant, and it was so humorous. Yeah, I think humor in advertising and campaigns just makes it so much more memorable. And it just, I think a lot of advertising can be a little bit boring and just kind of, here's the point. And, you know, with safe sex, it's very like, you're a bit like, okay, I'll use a condom. Whereas this is like, have fun, but use your condom at the same time.
And, you know, if you're trying to grab people's attention, you're not going to do it by lecturing or just fact finding or bullet points. So I loved the humor. And I thought it was a really brilliant way to reach every generation. So I think this is a great way to reach people who were taught to believe that this was taboo.
They hit the older generation with the younger generation as well. It's bespoke, it's mischief, it's funny, and it's got huge media coverage as well. So I think when I was looking at like the out-of-home advertisements, I was kind of like, is that the right placement for them? But it's also hitting the younger audience and it's starting a conversation with everyone. So I thought it was really good.
Really, I mean, when you're at a gardening center, first of all, it's a marketer's dream. There's no clutter. If that's their number 2 hobby, that's the best place to be. And it's also very clever. I believe the condoms are free too and biodegradable. I thought the media was terrific. They also did out of home. Ogilvy, they hit it out of the park with this. I just think that really being in that place does promote exactly what Relate is trying to promote. So I thought the media was genius.
One question I kind of had is like, how many garden centres were they in? And was it just the one for like a couple of weeks, or are they still there? Or was this just kind of to make it tie it all together?
I don't know, but I think I heard that they were only in one chain of gardening centers. As far as Relate goes, I live in the US and Relate is a UK-based service center. So I didn't know about it, but I did look into it and they are fantastic. I wish we had that here in the States. So I did not know about them, but I found out about them. So that helped as well because they cover mental health, women's health, every kind of benefiting thing that we all need. I learned a lot from this.
Yeah, I suppose the thing I loved that it was just so bold and risky. And, it was familiar as well with the use of the emojis. Everyone has that on their iPhone and their keyboard. They're using it daily. So when you see that up on a big billboard or a bus stop, it's going to make you stop because it's familiar. The copy was just brilliant as well. It's punny. I think so many brands are lacking that as well. When you look at like Durex ads, they're quite sexual and fast paced and everything like this, where this has like more kind of wholesome, lighthearted twist on it.
Did you both have a feeling of, could this come to life in my market? Is it transferable?
I definitely think so in Ireland, because everyone just likes to have a laugh and everything like that. And it's a bit of crack, as we like to say. So I definitely love to see it in Ireland. I think it would be a great talking point and get the media across the message out there.
There will be people like at the beginning of this ad that will be absolutely outraged. I do not personally understand that. And I think they must be very tense. But I believe this would absolutely translate to the vast majority. And I think we would actually appreciate it overall. I think it would be much more of a success than a criticism here.
Is there anything that you might have done differently, or any kind of opportunities you think they didn't quite tick the box on?
I don't think there was any really faults in the campaign, but I would have loved to seen like more like the over 65s talking about it with maybe like their daughters or their sons or the younger generation, or do like an 18-year-old and a 65-year-old talking about it. I think that conversation would have been really interesting to see as well. But overall, I thought the campaign was brilliant.
Do you think work like this would inspire other parts of the industry to think about that audience differently?
I definitely think it's going to inspire a lot of brands to, question norms, be more bold and risky. And I think including like the older generation in their targeting as well, and then getting them talking about their brand and their product, while including all demographics as well.
They use like very Georgia O'Keeffe type of, onion visuals. And of course, we all know eggplant visuals and all of those very mature and fun stuff. But it was really a great way. And that was cross-generational. I think that would speak to, boomers down through Gen Z, the artwork, the approach, and the message. Nobody wants gonorrhea. I'll speak for everyone. And if you disagree, that can be another show.
Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to the TikTok reaction where they realize that their parents and grandparents are having sex. That would be
yeah. Nobody, your parents are not human beings.
Well, yeah, look, thank you so much for joining us. It was a really, really, really fun campaign to talk through this week. So really appreciate your time.